What's up, family? Sorry, hold on. Gillian Welch, dude. Do you know about this lady? My first sponsor in AA turned me on to a bunch of good music because towards the end of my addiction, I had a tweaker steal all of my fucking CDs, dude. My whole music collection. Fucking chick. And they were all like burned CDs too. It's not like she could have went and like sold them for money or anything, but like hundreds of CDs, like those big fat books, dude. Anyways, what am I looking for? When I first got sober, my sponsor, Dougie, if you ever see this, I love you, man. He's up in Michigan. He turned me on to a bunch of new music. And at that time in my life, having been, I listened to a lot of like pretty heavy stuff in the day. And I listened to all kinds of things, but he got me really into like Americana, and I started getting a little bit into like country music and stuff too over the years. Not a ton, but enough, dude. Because back in the day, I was always like, I'll listen to anything, but like no country and no rap. I don't know why, but it's just like those two. But even that wasn't true, because I did listen to some rap, like, and R&B and stuff like that before that, but it's just one of those things. Anyways, Gillian Welch is fucking amazing. And art. So what this the point of this whole thing is actually about art. When I needed new musical inspiration, and I didn't know anything about sound or sound healing or anything about vibration or any of that shit back then. Although it was like a year or two after I had been in and out of sobriety, but it's like a year or two after The Secret came out. So some of this stuff was just coming into the public sphere, realm, or whatever. I think The Secret came out in like 2006, 2005 maybe. But sound is powerful, man. Vibration is powerful. Our bodies are all about vibration. ADD brain fart. Music is magic. If you're an artist, if you're a creator. This book just popped up, and I didn't like it the first time that I read it, and it's not my absolute favorite in the world, but there's a lot of powerful stuff in there, especially if you do any kind of art for work. And we have this thing where it's like, I feel like we just got to be inspired. We got to be inspired in order to do the work, to do the art, to do the this, that, and the other. And that's true to an extent. There is some of that in there, but the muse is not always going to be available. Sometimes you just need to like schedule it and sit down and like do the work, regardless of what's happening in your life. And this gets into a lot of, it's a bunch of like really short pieces. Again, I don't agree with everything that's in it, because sometimes forcing ourselves to push through limitations and barriers it can be it can end up being self-defeating, especially if you're dealing with like trauma and issues like that. Sometimes our bodies are just like, no, this isn't the time for that. This isn't the time for that. And we can ignore that to our great detriment, as many of us have found out. But a lot of times, not doing the work or not treating our creative endeavors as work, if that's what we're doing for a living, like that can be extremely detrimental as well. And sometimes we just need to. He's talking about writing a lot in this book, especially, and but the people that I've known that are successful painters and creative artists and other endeavors too, they tend to treat their art and their craft in the same way. And it's like scheduling time and just practicing it and doing it and being disciplined about it is so important. It's just so important. And there are ways that we can address the other pieces of the puzzle as well, to have more inspiration in our life, and to invite the muse to be in our life more, whatever source or sources that comes from for us. But This book, I'm getting ready to take it back to the library. So I wanted to throw it up. I was gonna do a short, but God knows that that's just about fucking impossible for me. The War of Art. So a lot of times the gist of the book is like a lot of times our brain and our body and culture and society will try to talk us out of it. The negative messages or just like our internal voices where it's just like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it right now. I'm not inspired, so I'm not gonna like do it. And then we think we're just gonna like come without any practice, without any work, we're just gonna come and bust out a masterpiece. The people that make great things, they will invariably tell you that's not how it works. You have to make and make and make and make and make things, and a lot of them are going to be flops, and most of them you're not even going to put out, but every once in a while you're going to get a fucking banger. And so just encourage you, if you know, if you have creative endeavors, if you're an artist of any kind or sort, do the work. Even if it's like, and it's better to have regularity in it than any specific amount of time. So it's like, if you're trying to get back into something, especially if it's like, if you've been out of practice for years, but it's something that you love to do, 10, 20, 30 years ago, and all you have is like 1 hour a week. Let's say you have like a job and kids and, different things going on, or whatever. And all you have is 1 hour, but you can dedicate 1 hour to it every week. Put it on your calendar and then stick to it no matter what. And you'll find over time, this is another thing that you hear all over the place, you'll find over time, the more you put into it, your work gets better, it gets easier to do, it becomes more pleasurable, and then all of a sudden you'll find more openings in your schedule to start doing more of that kind of work. And then that's how the muse grows. That's how you invite your muse into your life more and more. Create time and space for it. Just do it. Do the work. Do the thing. Just do it. Another one that I don't have it here, or I don't know if I even have it at this point in my life. The Artist's Way. Is it The Way of the Artist, or I think it's called The Artist's Way, and I'm blanking on the woman's name that wrote it. It's pretty well known. You can find it really easily, and that gives a whole, I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 months or like a series of practices that you can do, but just getting back into that, exploring like what it means to you and what place it has in your life, and doing that kind of work more. I should revisit that too, because that it's been at least a decade since I read that book. And at that point, I was doing something like drastically different. That was, I didn't even really consider it art at that point, because it was so wrapped in with all my business stuff that I was doing, and a lot of it was like business and financial stuff and school stuff. So anyways, the Artist's Way, I think it's called The Artist's Way. It's another really good one to read. So anyways, The War of Art. Don't let your brain talk you out of it, dude. If you're creative, just do it. Just do it. Make it part of your schedule, even if it's just a little bit every week. Love you guys.